what I'm going to do is give you this prompt just here. Now, what this prompt is going to do is generate you colouring book page prompts for Midjourney V5. Now, all that you have to do is input a little bit of data. You want to put who it's for, then a description of the colouring page that you want, along with the style of the colouring page as well. Now, before I go ahead and give you that prompt, what I first want to do is show you what's now possible with Midjourney V5 and with creating colouring pages. Now, what I've gone ahead and done is just created a bunch of examples so you can see the different type of colouring pages that you can now create. Now, these colouring pages just here, these ones are more like simple line art colouring pages with tulips in the front garden, and as you can see they look pretty good. Then we have some pandas just here. These pandas are more aimed at colouring pages for adults, as you can see with the grey scale within the colouring page as well. Then we have a bit more of a simple colouring page for kids. Then these turned out really well as well, which is more line art style, and they're colouring pages of bedrooms. But then these portraits, these came out amazing. So as you can see, these top ones look really good. Now it's practically at the point that you can't distinguish colouring pages generated by AI or which are drawn by illustrators. Now let's keep going through these because I have a few that I really want to show you. These turned out really well as well, and these are princesses, and these are obviously for kids. Then these cowboy women, I thought these looked amazing, along with these. So these were more light grey scale colouring pages, and again, as you can see, they turned out pretty well. Then we have some line art colouring pages of vehicles just here. So the top ones are trains, which look pretty good, but my favourite out of all of these which I am showing you are these monster trucks just here. Now look how detailed and awesome that they actually look, and again everything looks in proportion. If we look at the wheels, we can see they look good. The whole car in general looks good as well, and again you wouldn't be able to distinguish whether these were created by AI or they were created by a human. Now the great thing about Midjourney V5 is that vehicles and things like that have had a massive improvement. Now let's keep scrolling through these. I have some little rabbits just here, some bunnies. These two are practically the same, but you get the idea. They look pretty good. Then I thought these looked even better. So these were foxes, and for adults. Then we have some landscapes just here, which the grey scale on these don't look that great. This one at the end looks the best, but they are a huge step up from Midjourney 4. Then we have some real simple house colouring pages just here. Out of all of these, this one looks the best just there. That's this one. Then we have more landscapes and then some unicorn stuff as well. This one I really like. So as you can see, Midjourney V5 is a huge step up for creating colouring pages using Midjourney. So that's what I wanted to share with you and show you just some examples of what's now possible with V5, because as you can see, they look really good. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is share with you this prompt just here. Now with this prompt, you're going to find it down in the description below, so you can come through and try it out. Ideally, this is best suited for ChatGPT 4. You can still use this with the older version, but you're just going to get much better results with V4. No, with ChatGPT 4. Now, this is actually a simplified version of what I have for my own personal use. Now, over the past few days, I've been putting together a set of prompts, and I've been training ChatGPT 4 on lots of information to give me highly detailed colouring pages. Now I've inputted lots of data about colouring pages, all the terminology, styles and things like that, and with my set of prompts I'm able to get highly detailed colouring page prompts for Midjourney V5. Now if we come over to here, I highly suggest coming through and having a watch of this video. This video is going to share with you a set of prompts, step-by-step guide on how to craft kids' short stories. Now I've used the same principles of this video, but again I've been putting together a set of prompts, training ChatGPT 4 to give me highly detailed colouring pages. Now I am thinking of selling the set of prompts because it does so much cool stuff. I haven't completely finished it yet, it is a work in progress, but it's going to be called the Ultimate Colouring Page Prompt Generator. Now if that's something that you're interested in, then drop a comment down below letting me know. Now I feel like I've waffled on a bit, so let's get on with this. This is the prompt just here. It says, act as a stable diffusion teens colouring page prompt generator that accepts a visual description and outputs a detailed paragraph that I can copy into my diffusion model. Include a variety of colouring page related terminology, and now write me a clear and concise natural language visual description of the following. And then this is where you're going to put some data. So right here where it says teens, we can change that for teens, kids or adults. Then right here is where we change out the description of the colouring page, or what we actually want the colouring page to be, and then we can use some descriptive words to describe what colouring page that we want. Now if we go over to just here, you can even ask ChatGPT to come up with the ideas for your colouring pages and then use that in the prompt. So you can use this with ChatGPT 3.5, but then ideally you want to use the prompt generator with version 4. So all I put was, I'm going to create a beautiful floral colouring book for adults. Can you give me 30 ideas for each colouring page? And then we have a bunch of ideas just here. So let's take one of these. There's a bouquet of wildflowers, a sunflower field at sunset. So we could take this one or this one, a vase of roses. So let's take that one instead. Now let's go back to this prompt. What we're going to do is just click here. So again, this prompt is going to be down in the description. Go ahead, take it and start playing around with it. But once you've inputted it just here, you can click there, and this is where you can change a few things. So this can be for teens. We could change that to adults or kids. Now, depending on what demographic that you're creating your colouring books for, or your colouring pages, will determine what you put just here. So let's go and put ahead and put that in. We want a vase of roses. Then we can do simple line art, full page colouring page. So now if we click save and submit, it's going to give us a prompt which we can now take over to V5. Now with Midjourney V5, because of the new upgrade, it's now completely different in the way that you craft your prompts. So now it's more of a natural language prompt building structure, just like you were trying to describe your colouring page to a real person. Now if you start doing it this way, like this, and using this prompt, you're going to get much better results with V5. So here's the prompt that it's generated. Now again, this is just a simplified version of the whole set of prompts which I have for my own personal use. With my set of prompts, I've also inputted all of the data about the parameters. So with my set of prompts that I have for my personal use and the ones which I'm thinking of selling, it will also put them at the end. So that could be Q2 for quality, stylize, and things like that. Again, the prompts which I've been putting together are absolutely awesome, but so's this prompt just here. So now if we take this, in fact let's have a quick read. Generate a full page, simple line art colouring page featuring an elegant vase of roses. The composition should consist of a variety of rose blossoms in different stages of growth. Some fully opened and others still budding. So again, you can see that this is a highly detailed description of what we want. Now, if we come over to here, let's go to Imagine. Let's click that in. Now, one of the aspect ratios I have been playing around with a lot is 17 by 22. Before I was doing 2 by 3s and then just adjusting the page when I format them, but with this format, or the aspect ratio, you just get much better results. So let's go ahead and click enter on that. Let's just leave that for a second and let's come back over to here. Let's change this again. So now, in fact, let's keep that the same, but what we're going to do is just change out some terminology. So again, we can change this: teens, kids, adults. Let's do adults. Now right here, we're going to keep the vase of roses, but now let's change this out. Simple line art, full page colouring page. Let's put something at the beginning like light grey scale simple line art, and then let's click enter on that. Now again, right here is where you want to put a description of what type of colouring page. So instead of it being light grey scale simple line art, you could just have simple line art, detailed line art, or you could just have grayscale. Again, this is where you want to be descriptive on what type of colouring page that you want. Now, if you were going to create this for kids, then 9 times out of 10 it's going to be simple line art, and that's it. But again, just come through and play around with it and see what you can create. Now let's go ahead and take this one. This says generate a full page light grayscale simple line art adult colouring page featuring a beautiful designed vase of roses. The image should showcase a variety of rose blooms in different stages. Now let's go ahead and take this. Let's plug this into here as well. Look at that, there we go. But let's plug this one in as well. Let's click enter. Let's do a 17 by 22. Let's leave that for a second and let's take a look at this. So these actually look really good. Now let's upscale one of these like so. Let's just leave that for a second and let's just go back over to here. But again, this is a pretty great prompt. It's a simplified one of what I have, but as you can see, you can still get great results. So change out adults, kids, teens, and then put a description of what type of colouring page you want: a vase of roses, a puppy Labrador, in the garden. You know, there's so many different ways. You can also use ChatGPT 3.5 to get all of your ideas, plug that in, and then have light grayscale, simple line art, and things like that. Now let's go back over to here. This looks really good, as you can see. And it's a huge, huge step up from the colouring pages from V4. Now, we just used light grayscale simple line art. So let's just see what we now get with this prompt just here, just so we can have a quick look. I'm really liking this. This actually looks really good, but let's just give it a second, and there we go. So as you can see, using the different terminology of colouring pages, you're going to get different results. I really like this first one just here. But that's it. That's everything that I wanted to share. Come through, try it out. I am going to leave this prompt down in the description so you can just copy and paste it, and then come through to Midjourney. Make sure you have a V5 and give it a go. Now, if you liked this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to check out the rest of my AI videos, then click right here and watch this playlist.